Hi YouTube. I wanted to do a tapering video yesterday, but I ran out of time. And one thing that's going on now is my son has football and my daughter has after-school activities as well. So I don't really have the time to put into the comment section that I normally do. So please don't take that as a as me being disengaged from my videos, because it's just not true. It's just that right now time is at a premium. And also, I've gotten some really kind PMs lately, and a couple people that I tried to reply to, they had contact lock on. There was one this morning that I woke up to, and I tried to reply to it, and the person had contact lock on, and he doesn't make videos, and he doesn't actually even comment on other videos, so I had no way to thank him. So, and it, honestly, it could be by design. People sometimes just have that on because they want privacy, and that's fine. I respect that. But if you send me a note and you're expecting a response, please understand that you have to have contact lock disabled. Okay. So I'm going to make this request. I have a request for you guys, a favor, and I'm going to make it at the beginning of the video because not everybody watches the entire thing. Yesterday's announcement, from the Fed was not surprising. It's something that we had talked about, I think, in April or May, when the initial taper talk had begun in earnest. I remember it almost as a single voice, we all said, no, that's not going to happen. The Fed's backed into a corner. I remember having that conversation many times. The market didn't believe it because every time they even said the word taper, silver and gold would get the stuffing knocked out of it. So before we start this video, I have a request to you guys. I have a favor. Somebody once said, and I can't remember who said it, but it was a great line, you better be rich, otherwise you're going to be poor. Okay, the middle class is quickly drying up here. And I believe a lot of it is because of the Fed policies. So my request to you is, please do everything that you can to get your financial situation shored up. Okay, please get rid of that debt. Please, live your life in a frugal way. Try to find some enjoyment out of things that don't cost a lot of money. Please try to just kind of find your financial footing here. And whether or not you choose to invest in silver, gold, real estate, stocks, I don't care. But start putting some money away for yourself and for your family, please. Right now, there are so many troubling trends, and the middle class is just shrinking. And I want to see you guys doing well. I just do. It's important to me. And the only way to do that now is to play their game, apparently. Okay? You can fight it all you want, but the simple fact is, Bernanke is doing everything he can to make sure that there's a wealth transfer, and it's all going to the rich. Is that by design? I don't know. Some people will say it is. Some people will say it isn't. Some people say it's not an intentional thing, but he is creating a wealth effect for the wealthy. Now, I don't know why he thinks that making a millionaire a multimillionaire is somehow going to help the middle class. I don't know how making a billionaire richer is going to help the middle class, but that apparently is the road they're going down. So the only way for you to do well is to hold some risk assets yourself. Okay, I'm off my soapbox there. So they started in with the tapering last April or May. I can't remember the exact time frame. And like I said, as a single voice, we all called BS on it. And I remember them saying, well, wait a minute, no, to help our exports, we're going to export our way out of this mess, right? Even though we're not a manufacturing economy anymore. So I looked up the top exports of our country, because I'm calling BS on this. So you know what one of our top exports is? Oil and refined oil products. I think we all know that whether the dollar is stronger or not, we'll still be selling our oil. You'll be exporting the inflation instead of importing it. Do you know what actually surprised me? You know what our number 7 export is? Precious metals and coins. And it's actually the #1 export to India, the UK, which really surprised me. The UK is, our top export to the UK is precious metals, coins, and gems, and to Switzerland. That really surprised me. If the dollar were stronger, would that stop? I don't think so. Number 10 is pharmaceutical products. Are countries going to stop buying our drugs because they're more expensive? No. Medical technical equipment. Will countries stop buying our medical technical equipment because of a stronger dollar? No, they won't. So I'm calling BS on that. Having a stronger dollar will not affect exports in that way, as we're not a manufacturing-based economy anymore anyway. Okay? We would basically be exporting inflation instead of importing it. Instead, we're choosing to import inflation. Okay? Kill the dollar. And really what they're trying to do is they're trying to inflate away the debt. And I wish they'd be upfront about it, but nobody will say it publicly. Okay, so you kind of have to create a game plan for yourself, realizing that these are the rules of the game. Okay, their intention is to kill the dollar. So as the value of the dollars in your hand is going down, as it's being diluted, make sure that you're putting it somewhere where it can work for you. And again, silver, gold, real estate, stocks, whatever you consider your investment of choice. Okay, because I don't see it getting better. They've tied QE to the unemployment rate. You guys know I love this one, right? I do. I love it. So QE is tied to the unemployment rate. Companies have more cash on their balance sheets than they ever have. Is that a record? So what are they doing with this cash? Are they hiring more? No. A business will not hire an employee unless it has to, unless there is demand for its products. So what are they doing with all that cash? Well, it's going to investors in the form of dividends, sometimes special dividends. It's going to the board. It's going to the CEO. Sometimes research and development, but they're looking for an ROI, a return on investment there. And if they don't see it, they're not going to spend it. They're just going to hoard it. There's no demand for their products. Why is that? Because the middle class is being asked to pay a greater percentage of their take-home pay than ever before for food, for fuel, for health benefits, and for those with kids in college tuition. Okay, there's less and less money available to spend on luxuries for the middle class. So now there's an uncertain work environment, right? We have a deer in the headlights economy. I know I'm not looking to move up. I'm afraid to. I have been for a few years now. I'm afraid for my job, guys. I know that I will not be retiring with my company. It's not going to happen. I know that at some point in the next 20 years, I will be jobless. So why would I go out and buy a big house if I were even going to? Or a nice new expensive vehicle if I were going to do that too? Why would I do that? Knowing that at some point I will be unemployed and all that's available for jobs are $12 an hour jobs. So businesses will not hire. And also technology improvements are creating productivity gains. So fewer employees are needed. It's a big mess. And yet they keep diluting the value of your dollar. Keep making the rich richer, thinking that that will work out. Hasn't worked in 5 years, guys. And it's not going to work in 6 years, and it's not going to work in 7 years. Okay, and I don't know exactly what it's going to look like when the ramifications of this come raining down. But just make sure that you do everything that you can to shore up your own personal financial situation. Okay. And also a suggestion that I would make is at your place of work, please be the best employee that you can be. I know there's a lot of distractions out there, and I know that there's a lot of uncertainty, but please be the guy that's the last one to turn out the lights. You know, in your plant, in your small business, whatever it is, make sure you're the key guy or girl. Okay, because you don't want to be unemployed in this job market. You just don't. There's too much competition for jobs out there. And what you'd be looking at is very low-paying jobs, unless you have a very marketable skill, which unfortunately I don't. You know, I've always been a hard worker, but that only takes you so far. You know, you have to have the skills that go with it. So, all right, guys, that's my take on the tapering. It just is what it is, and there's not really a whole lot we can do about it. But I just, it's pretty obvious to me that Bernanke wants to kill the dollar and inflate away the debt. And that's just troubling to me. So make sure you protect yourselves.